Good morning, all of you. Now, today, again, in continuation with the same history chapter, Independent India, um, let's have a look at the conclusion of the chapter. And we have done, means we have already studied that what was the condition of India when India got independence, and what were the causes or what were the consequences of the partition, and how the people suffered after that. Then we also had a look at our constitution, and we had a look at the important features of our constitution. We also had a look at the formation of linguistic states, and the birth of 5-year plans. We also had a look at Nehruji's foreign policy, which was characterized by two ideological aspects. And now, to conclude, now we could say that on 15th August 1947, India got independent. And if we look at a country today, we could find that India is making quite good progress on the winding road to success. So it has not been a straight road, it has been winding road with twists and turns along the way, but still it is leading towards progress. And the new nation of India that was born, now it was born by partition, and so Pakistan was created out of India. And independent India, though we got our independence, but it was after, there were flames of hatred and flames of hatred and communal riots and massacre raging throughout the country, and through that we got our independence. And now, if we look at a country decades later, we will find that the country that at that time was emerging from the wreckage or the destruction of the British Raj is now world's largest democracy. And now it has risen to that place after years of fast economic growth, and it has taken its place as one of the giants of 21st century in the world. Now, uh, the the things that were against India, all right, to create India as a working democracy. Now they were a lot, so the odds were against India in 1947 when we decided that we'll make this country as a democratic country, because we already have seen that million people died, and 15 million people were displaced, and so many people, they lost their jobs, and and billions worth of property, it was damaged. People have lost their families, got separated from their families, and the wounds that people got through this communal violence, they were still fresh, the wounds were still bleeding. And then, in addition to that, not only these problems were that, but then there was a problem of governing and administering a country which has just got freedom from colonial rule. And then, there was a problem of integrating the princely states into India, because at the time of independence, the Britishers, they left onto the princely states so as to decide whether they want to join India and Pakistan, and now these princely states have to be persuaded to join India. Now that was a huge task. And now, if India's leaders, some of the leaders at that time, if they wanted dictatorial powers, so they could be forgiven for asking dictatorial powers. And after Mahatma Gandhi, he was assassinated by Nathuram Godse. So Jawaharlal Nehru, he had no rival for power. He was the only one there, and there was no one to oppose him or to be his rival. And now Nehruji, he did not take advantage of that condition and seize absolute power and become a dictator. But what he did, he wrote an anonymous article in Modern Review. What is anonymous? What do you understand by the word anonymous?
No name mentioned.
All right. So no name mentioned, unknown. So he wrote an article and did not write his name, and in that he warned the Indians that they were in the danger of giving temptations, dictatorial temptations to Nehruji, and he asked through this article people to stop giving that temptation to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And so what India started on that day, now it is beginning to deliver on that promise and stand steady on that promise. And over the past few years, the India being the world's biggest democracy, it has also tried to match the political freedom. Political freedom, we mean that everyone, all adult population, they have the right to vote. So it is one vote for all, and each vote having equal value. So India has tried to match political equality with economic one also. They have tried that, obviously in practical terms it is not easy that there could be equal distribution of wealth, because distribution of wealth depends on so many factors, and education being one of them. And so that is not possible, but still they have tried at least that each people they could have the basic necessities of life. So they are trying to do that, and they have also Indians through technology and trying to better the life of people of its or its own citizens. So they have started a growth that is transforming the lives of millions of Indians here. Now, for India to become free, to break the shackles or the bondages of colonial power, now that in itself now was a big thing, and it is a success for our country. And that we are one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Now that is also a success, because when we got independence, our economic state was very poor, and so from there to being a free economy, and now that is a huge success for our country. And that we have also become an important factor in the IT revolution. Now that is also a success for our country. And when India got independence, many foreign countries, they felt that India will not be able to survive as a single country, and that it will soon break up into many fragments, into many pieces. And because there were people, so diverse people were living here, people belonging to different regions and speaking different languages, following different religions. And so they thought that India would break up into many smaller fragments or many smaller pieces, but that India is still united. Now that is something that we should be proud of. And now, but the fact that people, they speak so many different languages, and they follow different religions, they follow different faiths, now that has not come in the path of national unity. Now that is a very huge thing for India, or a very huge success for India. But it is not that the path has all been rosy and everything is fine and good. That is not the case, because problems, they still persist. And there is there had been economic development, but that economic development had gone to a few who have become very rich, ultra rich, and that has created a wider division or a wider disparity between the middle class and the lower class than what existed at the time when we got our independence. Then there is also a need for clean water for the people. Then afforestation. What is afforestation?
To plant trees.
All right.
Planting of more.
All right. So planting more trees. So there's a need to plant more trees. Then there's a need for medicines and vaccines for this huge population. Then we need breakthroughs in science and technology and education. We need the upliftment of the poor, and the cutting of red tape and bureaucracy. Now, what is red tape and bureaucracy? That is excessive regulation to formal rules which are now outdated. So rules which are outdated, but still we stick to them, and still we follow that only. So now that also had to be stopped. And though our constitution it says that all people are equal, but still we know that Dalits, they still face violence and discrimination. And then even in our constitution they have called India, in the preamble also we have seen that India is a secular country, but still in spite of that we have seen that there had been clashes between different religious groups. And then we also know that the constitution, it offers its people equality before law. That is first, our first fundamental right to equality. But still we know that there are some people who are more equal than others. And but in real life, though on paper it is that all people are equal, but if we see in real life. Sir? All right, and though the constitution it says that all people are equal, but still in real life we see that all people are not treated equally, and some are treated more equally. What that means is that though some are treated equally, but some are still not treated equally. And if we judge by the standards that we set at the time of our independence, then India, as a republic, it has not been a great success, but then it has not been a failure either. So though if we judge by the standards that we set for ourselves at the time of independence, so we have not been very successful, but at the same time we have not been a failure. So like we have performed averagely on what promise we have made to ourselves. Okay, so that was the chapter. Now let's move on to the exercises. Have you all understood what we have done?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so let's move on to the exercises. Get hold of a pencil, and if you are ready, just let me know.
Ready, ma'am. Ready, ma'am.
Okay. Alright, first we have the multiple choice questions. Pakistan came into existence on
14 August 1947.
Alright, 14th August 1947. In which year was the Constitution of India enforced?
1950.
1950, right. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly?
Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
Right, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Planning Commission was set up in
1950.
1950, right. Which Indian leader was at the forefront of foundation of non-aligned movement, or NAM?
Jawaharlal.
Right, Jawaharlal Nehru. Alright, match the following. Jawaharlal Nehru,
Founder of NAM.
okay, founder of non-aligned movement, founder of NAM. Durgapur,
Steel Mill.
right, steel mill. Mahatma Gandhi,
Father of the Nation.
father of the nation. Partition of India,
August 1947.
alright, August 1947. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar,
Chairman of the drafting committee.
okay, chairman of the drafting committee. State whether the following statements are true or false. Homi J. Bhabha was the first chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission.
True.
Right. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by a fanatic, Nathuram Godse.
True.
True. The second five-year plan focused on the conservation of soil and training in cooperative organizations.
False.
Alright, it is false. The meetings of the Constituent Assembly were held in Calcutta.
False.
Where were they held?
False. New Delhi.
New Delhi, right. Poti Siruramulu died on 15th December 1952.
True.
True. Okay. Fill in the blanks with the words given below. The partition left both India and dash devastated.
Pakistan.
Right, Pakistan. Communal violence destabilized the cities of Calcutta, Delhi and
Lahore.
Right. In dash, the second 5-year plan was formulated.
1956.
1956.
1956.
Right. Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel were against the creation of dash states.
Linguistic.
Linguistic states.
Linguistic.
Yes. On 1st October 1953, the new state of dash came into being.
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. So that is it. Those were the exercises, and the question answers I will send you in the form of PDF. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, ma'am.